Today I will show you step by step how you can make this depth style edit so you can go viral. Let's go! First things first, once we open After Effects, we're gonna click on New Composition, and the composition size we want to use for this style is 1440 by 1080. This will give us a nice wide look where we have enough space to fit our clips. The frame rate is going to be at 60, and lastly, the duration is going to be dependent on how long your audio is. In my case, I'm going to go for 50 seconds, but don't worry, you can also change this later on. Once all of this is set, press on OK, and you should be met with this black preview. The reason we can't see anything is because we haven't imported any of our assets, meaning footage or sound yet, which is why I prepared this folder on my desktop where I have my audio, which for this style, you want to go with the audio called Pursuit. And in my case, I want to edit Dexter, so I have 2 scene packs ready. Make sure you select them all and then drag them into your project panel on the left side of your screen. Once we imported our footage, we're going to start with our audio and just drag that onto our timeline right here. It will look something like this, and to actually know when our clips are supposed to change, we're going to mark our beat drops. To do that, we have a very simple hack. We can right click onto our audio, go to Keyframe Assistant, and then click on Convert Audio to Keyframes. That will create a new red layer, and we can select that by pressing on it, then hit U on our keyboard and select the both channel slider right at the bottom. Once that's selected, we're gonna open up the graph editor, and inside of here you will see a bunch of spikes. I know it looks confusing right now, but let's zoom in a little bit. And once we do that, it's going to be a lot easier to understand. You can see we have a bunch of spikes that rise up from the baseline of our audio. So this is, for example, our baseline, and then the audio amplitude spikes up. That means that at the point where it spikes, we're going to have a beat drop. This is still the intro, and my audio starts right here. And you can see the spike is spiking at this point. So once I found this point on my timeline, I'm going to go to the right side and click onto the comp marker, which will just mark this exact frame so that when later on I close the graph editor, I know exactly when my first clip has to start. Go back into the graph editor and now redo this for every one of the beat drops your audio has. Once that's done, our timeline should look something like this. The reason I stopped here is because after this 10th beat marker, I want to loop my clip. So the same edit we just created is just going to play one more time. That means we don't have to mark the rest here. And we can now close the graph editor to then delete the audio amplitude layer, which is this red one. Next step is going to be finding our clips, which is why I have 2 separate scene packs. Let's start by dragging the first scene pack onto our timeline. And now what you want to do to find the clips, because most likely your scene pack is going to be really long compared to your composition length, which in my case is only 50 seconds. Make the whole thing a bit easier, I'm going to double click onto the scene pack layer, and that will open up this extra preview where I can see my clip, and I have an extra timeline where I can use an extra time marker to just skip ahead and find the clip that I want to use inside of my scene pack. Once you found the scene that you want to use, you're going to go back to the bottom of the timeline and click onto this bracket that's open. That will automatically cut to that point in time on your timeline, and you can see we now start at this exact scene we want to use. Now what we do is just go ahead to our next beat marker, because I'm going to use this for the intro and the first clip. I'm going to go to the second beat marker and cut my layer by pressing Ctrl Shift and D. Then all we got to do to find the rest of our clips is double click onto our layer and then do the same thing over again. So just use our mini timeline to schedule throughout our scene pack and then cut out the rest of the clips. Just so you know, I was live streaming this entire editing progress on Twitch. If next time you want to join as well, make sure you check the first link in the description. I react to edits, play video games, and host open editing collabs every single day. I'll see you there. Once you have found your final clip, you can close the layer on the top and just go back to your main composition. And now the next step is gonna be adding a face tracker. That's quite important because we want our character to always stay in the center of the clip, even when he moves. I'm gonna start with that at the beginning, at my first clip. And to add a tracker, I'm gonna double click onto my clip. Then I'm gonna open the tracker panel on the right side of my screen and click on Stabilize Motion. Then I wanna zoom in and just make these boxes a little bit bigger, roughly like this, and then drag them onto the character's nose right here. Once that's done, click on Analyze Forward and just let it do its thing. Make sure it doesn't move off the nose though. Depending on how long your clips are and how big you made the tracker, this might take a while. And once it finished analyzing, just double check that it actually stayed on the character's nose. Once you made sure of that, we can hit to apply and select dimensions, X only is enough, and then press on OK. That will just make sure that our character always stays in the center of the screen. Make sure you do that for each one of your clips. So once you've done that, there's one more thing we have to make sure, and that's that the clips are actually in the center of the screen, otherwise they can't stay in the center. So I'm gonna go over each clip and just drag it into the middle of my screen. You can eyeball this, you don't have to be 100% precise. I'm just gonna drag them towards the middle like so, that all of them are actually nice and centered. All right, now we're going to prepare our clips to actually add our first effect, which is going to be a slow motion. So I'm going to cut my first clip at the first beat marker by pressing Ctrl Shift and D. That way we can treat that as an actual clip inside of our editing part without having to apply the effect on top of the intro at the same time. Then I'm going to select all of the layers that I have in my edit and disable the sound, and at the same time enable motion blur and frame blending, which are these two boxes. That will just make the entire edit look a lot smoother. Once that's done, we can finally get to adding our effects, which is going to be done by right-clicking onto our clip, then selecting pre-compose. We're going to enable this bottom option, click this check mark, and then press on OK. Once that's done, we will get a pre-composed clip, and to this clip layer, we can now apply the effect called Twixter. Make sure you choose the normal one and then drag it on top of the layer. Inside of the settings, you want to disable in FPS is out FPS and put the frame rate to 23.976 or whatever frame rate your scene pack has. Next, I'm going to put the image prep to contrast/edge enhance, the motion sensitivity to 100, the frame interpolation to motion weighted blend, and the smart blend I'm going to enable. Then I'm going to make sure my time indicator is at the beginning of the clip, and I'll set a keyframe for the speed percentage. I'll put this up from 100 to 300%. Then I'm going to press U and go to the center of my clip right here. Put the speed percentage from 300 down to 60%, and then lastly go to the end of your clip and put it from 60 back up to 300%. To break that down, first keyframe is going to be 300, in the middle one, the second one 60, and the last one 300 again. Now to make this animation a lot smoother, we're going to change the graph. So select the keyframes, press F9 on your keyboard, and then open the graph editor. Once we zoom in a bit, we want to copy the following graph. We're going to start by dragging the first handle down on the top left, like so. Then the middle one in the bottom, we're going to drag towards that direction, about maybe 90-ish%. On the opposite side, we want to do the same thing. So start with dragging your handle down, the one that's on the top. And then for the middle one, extend it towards the right, again for about 90% of the way. Now we're going to have to apply this effect to all of our other layers, but don't worry, you don't have to redo this step over and over again. All we got to do is copy our keyframes by selecting them, then left clicking onto our effect name and pressing Ctrl and C. Now we can go to the next clip, again pre-compose by right clicking, selecting pre-compose, making sure these two options are ticked and pressing on OK. When pasting this effect, make sure you're at the beginning of this clip and then just press Ctrl and V. After it's done loading, you can press U to double check. All of our keyframes are here. The only thing we want to watch out for is because this clip is a bit shorter than the previous one, the keyframes don't line up exactly. So I'm going to select them, hold down my Alt key, and then just drag them to fit with the end of my layer. Make sure you repeat this process for all of the clips that are inside of your edit. Once you applied the Twixter to all of your clips, we have already mastered the hard part. Only thing you want to watch out for is that you don't obviously apply the Twixter to your intro. That scene should completely stay without any effects. Now the next step we're going to do is add a color correction, and for that I'm going to make a new adjustment layer by heading to the top, clicking on layer, new, and then selecting adjustment layer. For the color correction, I'm going to use my aesthetic color correction. You can choose any you like. If you want to get mine, check the link in the description. The next step is going to be creating a new adjustment layer again on top of our color correction layer, and then we're going to search for the effect called BCC plus depth map. You want to use the one that's called depth map ML and drag that on top of the adjustment layer we just created. You will already recognize the kinder depth map look that you get here. I like to invert the whole thing, that way the character is darker and the background stands out to be a bit lighter. There's also various settings you can play around with. For example, you can see this clip is a lot brighter than the others when you compare it to this one. So you could change out the brightness, but I'm just going to leave the standard settings because I don't really feel the need to change it right now. I think it looks good. And then because we don't want it to be there right at the beginning, I'm also going to press T on my keyboard and then set a keyframe for the opacity at the start of my edit. So reset this from 100 down to 0%. And then I'm going to go a few seconds ahead, let's say to about here, right before our clip starts. And I'm going to put this up to 100%. What that will do is, as you can see, make the depth map slowly appear instead of just being there right from the beginning. So now when our clip switches, we have the depth map, and that way our edit will start playing. What's also really important, I mentioned this at the beginning, is looping our clips. So I'm gonna just select all of my clips in the editing part right now and pre-compose them together into one clip. And then I'm gonna duplicate this by pressing Ctrl and D to loop my edit by just dragging this duplicated section to where the first one ends. So these ones should perfectly overlap. Feel free to add any effects effects you want. I only went for a Twixer because that's the style I like. You can also combine this with a zoom, a ripple effect, shakes, whatever you want though. Once we're done with our edit, I'm now gonna edit to the render queue by pressing on composition and then add to render queue. In here for the output module, I'm gonna select as my format QuickTime and press on OK. Make sure you set your output and then click on render. This might take a while depending on how fast your PC is. Congratulations, you just mastered one of the best editing styles. Make sure you follow me on Twitch. Thank you for watching and I'll see you next time.